Thanks for the participation in this panel. My name is Arman. May firstly introduce yourself. My name is Arman. I do a validator communication at the Gnosis chain.
My name is Chuy. I am community manager for DappCon.
Hi, and I'm Sebastian, founder of Hopper, working on privacy.
Yeah, today I'm going to talk about exploring the validator universe for Gnosis chain. And end of this discussion, we will announce a raffle result for the winner of the DappCon. Okay. Let's start. I have four topics. Firstly, we will try to understand our Gnosis chain fundamentals, and then what you can do as a node operator, and our current developments and ongoing works, and we will talk about some challenges. So who I am, I do a validator comms at the Gnosis chain. My main goals is onboarding more solo stakers on Gnosis chain, and also try to bridge between core devs and infra team and also community, the whole intersection. I also try to improve the tools we have for increasing more accessibility to onboarding more solo stakers, and also continue to support validator community for network health with my Chuy also helped me for this purpose. So our fundamentals on Gnosis chain, we have a beacon chain. We have a dual token model, XDAI for the gas, GNO for the staking and the governance. We have 5 seconds block speed. We have same hard fork timeline with the Ethereum because we have a beacon chain and we did a Chapella, we passed the DappCon, and the next hard fork is a Pectra. It's planning at the end of the year. Also, we work with the same clients with Ethereum on execution layer side. We have Nethermind, A.Ercan, and Get. Get is still on the onboarding process. We have some housekeeping works. Probably you can use a Get as an execution layer client at end of the summer. And also on the consensus layer side, we have Teku, Lodestar, Lighthouse, and Nimbus. So it's really important to have a client diversity on the Gnosis chain. We try to onboard more and more clients for the improving the diversity. So another fundamentals things is you can run a node with just a 1 GNO. It is super important to have low requirements for the onboarding more solo stakers. And also you can run a node on small ARM-based mini computers, DappNode, or own device. I would recommend DappNode, or if you want to collect on the market some the devices, of course you can run a node. And the bandwidth side, you need more than 30 megabits for the running effective node. And also you need around 2 terabytes of data per month for the healthy way to run a node. And efficiency, if you have around 96 or 97%, it's good, not too bad. But if you have a 92 or 93%, you need to improve your running operation because it's not a good efficiency. On Ethereum side, mostly 97 or 98% is good. On Gnosis chain side, 97, 98 is a little bit same, but the effectiveness depends on a little bit around our block speed. So yeah, I would like to give some numbers about our chain. We have more than 216,000 active validators, and also we have 1,700 active nodes individually. We have more than 70 countries where we have active nodes. So we should improve these numbers, especially the number of individual nodes. We try to onboard more solo stakers. That's why. And yeah, we want to work with especially solo stakers, DAOs like Kleros running a node on Gnosis chain, Hotpotk also running a node on Gnosis chain, which is nice. And also we want to work with collectives such as OneHive is one of the oldest collective on Gnosis chain. They are still continuing on the nodes, running nodes, and also we have Seed Latam, AC, Ethic Hub, and Ethereum Mexico. We try to onboard more solo stakers for the amplifying and the expressing our culture, and I think our cultural values is really fixed, fit the whole collectives, individuals, and rather than the institutional perspective. So you can see that our current number of nodes all over the world, morely is the Western countries, but we try to onboard more solo stakers, especially in LATAM and Southeast Asia and the Middle East. Yeah, I will go into the fundamentals. We have a strong relationship with the DApp node. When the Gnosis Beacon chain launched, we started the campaign with the DApp node, and we onboarded more than 500 validate nodes on the Gnosis chain. And also we have a strong community collaboration in terms of supporting, helping the validators, those who want to join in a node, running a node on Gnosis chain. So on the mainly working on Discord side, and also we have successful campaigns. We started the new campaign 10 days ago, and with the new campaign, we will give a free GNO an online purchase, or if you want to buy in here, we will give a 4 GNO. So it's a really nice opportunity to starting a node operation on Gnosis chain. Maybe in this slide we can talk about our home solo or remote stakers. Who are they and what is what they are representing? Mainly, we as I said before, we onboard lots of DApp node users. Currently, more than 400 individuals running a node with a DApp node, so which is representing around the 23% individuals. So it's quite a nice number, but we should improve this number for onboarding more validators. When we investigating and researching these individuals, they have 1 or 10 validators on Gnosis chain, so it is quite small numbers, but they are still continue to validating on Gnosis chain, which is super nice. I think this is representing a horizontal diverse for all the node operation, which is super nice. Maybe you can say something about the.
Yeah, so we at DappNode have been supporters of Gnosis chain from an early stage. This partnership that we have going on at the moment is the second partnership that we have with Gnosis chain, and we are very proud to have these numbers, which are great for the decentralization of the network. And there is an estimate of self-reported DApp nodes that represent 10% of all of the validators in Gnosis chain. So taking in account that if we take it at an individual level and we talk about 1.7K active nodes, this makes for 23% of the individuals that validate in Gnosis chain are running DApp nodes. So we are very, very proud to be supportive, because the common profile of this user is non-technical. So So yeah, as you may expect, we take a lot of pride when non-technical users find their way to support the network as they have been.
Yeah, representing our 23% of individuals in the whole network is quite a nice number, but yeah, we should definitely improve with this new campaign, this device. Okay, what you can do as a node operator on Gnosis chain? Let's talk about a little bit these topics. You can do, of course, you have some task. If you have a node operation, you can produce a block as a vanilla block producer. The basic task is I think is the most important task for every node operator. You can build a block and earn a rewards. APR around 13% right now. We have dual token model, and on the consensus layer rewards, you get GNO for the reward, and which is attestation rewards, Cinch committee rewards, and block proposal rewards. On the execution layer side, you can get XDAI for the fee, transaction fees. So it's the basic task: start a run a node and build a block as a vanilla block producer. And
maybe to add here from somebody who runs a validator, so it's a bit of lottery, and this is, I think, kind of fun. So producing a block, obviously your node does, you don't have to do it, right? But if you run one validator, that happens only every 1 to 2 months or so.
Yeah.
And you don't exactly know how much you get, right? So I've seen some blocks where people earned actually quite a lot in fees. Maybe somebody made some mistake or something. So it's pretty funny, like one morning you wake up and there's like, $50 you earned for overnight. And then a couple of weeks something doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when the inscription attack on the Gnosis chain side. Some of the validators got some really nice number of course, this is symbolic numbers, maybe 10 XDAI, but it's giving a nice insight for if Gnosis chain grows, the execution layer also grows, and also the fee market also grows. The opportunities and more. In this slide, I tried to explain if you run a node on Gnosis chain after the block producer, the vanilla block producing, there are some opportunities to have. We introduced the Gnosis 3.0 vision, and this vision includes a lot of payment-focused consumer app development, Gnosis Pay, Metri, Circles. And the vision is focusing on the payment, so all the payment dApps working on the Gnosis chain. So which means we will expect more transaction. We expect more blocks, which means also it's linked to the fee market. So the basic motivation is secure payment network as a node operator, and earn rewards is quite nice. We have working with the Shutter team, Nethermind team, and Gnosis chain team are building a shutterized Gnosis chain. Shutter team also here. Maybe they can say something about the whole, and also Lorik is here, about what they are building on the Gnosis chain, what they are expecting, and what is the next step. Yeah, if you have any microphone.
Hey everyone, my name is Loring. I'm with Shutter Network. And Shutter Network is basically an encryption protocol which promotes base layer neutrality, information symmetry, and accessibility. And in this particular context, we're working with Gnosis Chain and Nethermind on shutterized Chiato testnet, which is actually went live yesterday, and we'll have a workshop on it tomorrow. But then in about 4 weeks or 5 weeks, you'll actually have shutterized Gnosis chain mainnet. And what that will do is introduce encrypted mempools to Gnosis chain. And that will mean that end users are protected from malicious MEV, like front-running and sandwich attacks, while still allowing for benign MEV, like arbitrage. And it will also protect them against censorship. So this is done in a decentralized way, using a decentralized keeper set. And as I mentioned, my colleague Yannick will be doing a workshop here tomorrow. So if you'd like to test out encrypted transactions, or if you would like to register your validator, you can do that tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, as Eric mentioned, if you're curious about more details, Yannick will give a presentation tomorrow. Yeah, another good option is liquid staking with the Stakewise version 3. We will expect the launch end of this month or early June. The whole contract is auditing right now. What you can do with the Stakewise version 3, you can start your own vault on the Stakewise. So with this way, starting your own vault, you can if you're a collective, if you're a small number of friends, if you have any really small community, you can start your own vault on the Stakewise, and both collecting some rewards from the Stakewise and also collecting from the Gnosis chain consensus. So it's a nice opportunity to, if you're curious about, if you want to onboard, if you want to earn more money from the protocols. Upcoming developments, of course, we have really nice developments. And Gnosis VIP, we discussed at the forum Gnosis VIP, and it's passed right now. We try to onboard around 500 Hopper node operators into the Gnosis chain. So maybe you can talk. You can say something.
So I have a talk where tomorrow at 11 where I go in depth, but the TLDR is we're building a VPN that works just like a normal VPN that you might be familiar with, in a much more private fashion and actually decentralized and running obviously on top of Gnosis chain. And part of the proposal was there's people who run Hopper nodes, and if you run a Hopper node that is powering this data relaying under the hood, then you also get to run a Gnosis validator. So you get 1 GNO free of charge, which I find very cool. So yeah, incentive to start a Hopper node to then get incentivized to also run a Gnosis validator. Yeah, so we currently have about 400 Hopper nodes operational, so there's still some time left to register and be part of that one.
Yeah.
Maybe to add there, so on the Hopper side, we're also focusing very much on decentralization, because if you think about it, why care about decentralization, right? So, well, because we don't want to be like all the banks here where 5 guys behind closed doors have the say. So we need to decentralize who has a say in what gets included in a block, ordered, and executed. That's why, right? And we basically have very similar issues on the privacy side. If you relay data, who do you trust? Well, you don't want to trust one individual or one corporation. And yeah, so that network is relatively decentralized, and that's why we thought this would be a pretty cool opportunity to onboard another network, which is already kind of decentralized, although much, much smaller than Gnosis chain, and bring those folks to also run Gnosis validators, most of which also on DappNode, of course. So I think this one here, I think you haven't shown it yet. Yep. It's a very nice one. There's also another one, a Hopper node, which is also you can get through DappNode. Ours is a blue lid. This one has a very cool white-green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also quite a nice history. Firstly, we asked we prepare some example design for the boxes and the lids, And then we haven't decided which one is good. And then let's ask the community. We start the survey, design survey for this device, and then the community selects some nice design, and then we print out the whole things. So it's a really good representing like community-owned network, and they are select their own design, and we did the end of the story. So yeah, the another good upcoming developments is Spectra and max effective balance. It's planning end of the year. Yesterday, Philip mentioned about the whole details, and if you want to learn about how the effects on Petra in max effective balance on Gnosis chain, please check out the yesterday discussions on the Gnosis chain YouTube channel. Another update is OBOL DVT. As you know, OBOL doing a cluster on the Ethereum and Holoski side. We also want to onboard OBOL DVT cluster, distributed validator cluster on Gnosis chain. We tried to, first the OBOL team want to test it on Gnosis chain because it's different to Ethereum one. We have a 5-second block speed. So after the testing purpose, they will share some reports about the testing result, and then we decide, yes, it's good or bad. Firstly, we will test with the 8 different entities, 8 different professional node operators, which is include Kleros, Gateway, some other names. And then the second step is if we get some proper results after the testing, we want to onboard more permissionless node operators, especially in the Solana stakers, using a DVT cluster. Yeah, DVT cluster is giving two nice options to the Solana stakers. One is of course economically, and the second one is a security layer. If you haven't any confidence with the running a node, you can participate in the DVT cluster and delegate your some energy and some DevOps time to the professional node operators. So which is nice.
Just to add something in this part of the DVT, this is especially important when we talk about efforts to expand the network to other geographic locations. However, some of these geographic locations, like for example in Latin America, we have some infrastructure challenges. It is really cool to be a solo staker, but what happens when the lights go out or you have like some kind of problem with your ISP? So this is very important for these geographic zones because with DVT clusters, these communities are able to compete with more high-end validators that are in more developed countries. And this way, not only the cluster itself is more resilient with the validators that it's operating, but also the network is much better, can rely in these underdeveloped geographic locations as well.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Another one is the A.Ercan version 3 and Geth. As I mentioned, Geth is expecting to run at end of the summer. I think if you want to say something on the Geth side, feel free to.
Do we have a mic?
Yeah.
Thank you. So Geth has finally managed to sync the network. It's been a long struggle, but it's finally more or less ready. It cannot produce blocks right now, so I have to investigate this. But I expect, it should be there. I said end of summer. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's December. I don't know. So you never know. But I expect end of summer.
Thank you. Another one is A.Ercan. A.Ercan shared a latest version 2 version latest version 2 A.Ercan last week, and this is the final one, the version 2. We are expecting to implement the A.Ercan version 3 on Gnosis chain. So yeah. Challenge, of course, everything is not good enough for our telling. It's not a. We have a really tough challenge. So one of the main challenges is, of course, the client diversity. Is the Nethermind is a super majority client right now on Gnosis chain. So we have a A.Ercan and we will have a gas, but right now the Nethermind issue is important. If you run a node on Gnosis chain, please change your execution layer client. Is important for us. Of course, we have also node diversity. We have lots of individuals and solo stakers on Gnosis chain, but also have some big entities such as Chorus One, such as Gateway, such as Stakewise also. It is creating the centralized effect on the whole chain. So we try to push more solo stakers, push more home stakers, or cooperative structures, which is our challenge because of the running a node you need the time to do some work, for example, DevOps work. Every client, every device is not work really smoothly. Sometimes you lost your internet, you lost your IPS, sometimes you lost your electricity. So you need to put some efforts to running a node. So more people don't want to do that. So they delegate your token or giving the entities to earning some rewards. But I encourage more people running a node at home, or you can run a node with your friends. It's a nice opportunity. I know some people running a node with friends home. So if you don't have any proper internet connection or electricity, you can use your friend's home. The friend's home is the best home. So yeah. Another challenge is like geolocation diversity. As I mentioned, as you showed the map, the most of the nodes running at the Western countries, especially in the Germany, France, Spain, and of course US. So we try to push on board more different countries, especially in LATAM is the great opportunity to onboard more node operators from the LATAM, because they are highly interested in the Gnosis chain, especially in the other projects such as SDI people or the DeFi people really active on that side. So if we have people from the LATAM, let's onboard as a node operator. It's a nice opportunity. This is our challenge. The centralization in terms of the geographically is a huge issue for us. And another one is lower block times. We have 5-second speed, and it is amplifying some bottlenecks your setup. The whole devices configured especially for the Ethereum side. Ethereum is a different the Gnosis chain side, so it is creating some setup configuration. You need to do some configuration for your setup, and for example, some storage problems or some effectiveness problems. It's great. Another challenge is staking entity diversity, as I mentioned, and maybe on the node diversity side. We don't have lots of institutional staking pools or institutional staking operators on Gnosis chain side, but it is potential issue for us, because if the Gnosis version 3, if the Gnosis 3.0 vision gets some successful, get as successful and get some proper result, the more people want to integrate on Gnosis chain, starting to their token and get some rewards. So it is potential issue for us. We need to create a balance between all the opportunities. Of course, the main challenge, I think, as a supporting education and tools part, it is most challengers part because of the onboarding and not just buying a device or using any solutions such as clouds. You can buy a node, but after that you will have some issues starting a node, like client sync or any kind of how to use your device effectively. Yeah, DappNode is giving a nice opportunity to like a plug and play solution, buy a DappNode and use their interface. But some of the people want to buy own device or use the existing device. So we try to educate our node operators or potential node operators, and we want to solve their problem with easy way. We have a dedicated Discord channel, but right now we just only have 1,070 people. If we onboard, for example, 5,000, we need a more time to educate these people or providing tools, especially providing tools running locally. It is super important things because of the Bootnode guys did tools that running a Telegram. You can easily check their validator performance on the Telegram channel. It's nice to have a community contribution on the freely way, because the Beacon chain also our major consensus layer, execution layer explorer. You can also check with the Beacon chain, but it is not enough for just one proper solution. We need more than one, maybe two, maybe four, maybe five. So if you have an idea to build some tools on Gnosis chain side, please let me know. And of course, another huge challenge is a high coordination for the hard forks. As I mentioned, we have same forks deadline with the Ethereum. If Ethereum go to any hard forks, we also following the steps. Sometimes timeline is not exact time. For example, the Dankun one we did that 2 days earlier than the Ethereum one, but it is not a meaningful. It doesn't mean that every time we push 2 days or 1 week before. Maybe after the next fork, for example, Osaka or any other ones, maybe we will have maybe 1 month. I don't know. So we need a coordination for the onboard. We need a coordination for the network health, and it is really tough work for the creating a coordination, especially the more solid stakers, many solid stakers or individuals. The reaching out to this really messy guys because of the lots of people on the Discord side is a little bit messy for the learning some things, getting some updates from the what's going on the chain. Many people just following the weekly newsletter or monthly our newsletter. I try to send what's going on the Gnosis chain site in monthly. We did a survey and asked where they can find updates from the Gnosis chain side. Many people, they don't follow the Telegram or Discord or any kind of social media channels. They just only following the maybe updating just the 1 month. So it's really hard to coordinate with these people. Yeah, it's easy one, easy to starting a node, but the tough one is the coordination between these people. Maybe you can say something about the...
Yeah, I mean, maybe to start with some stats. Who here is running a Gnosis validator right now in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a
Nice.
pretty good room. Everyone who wasn't raising their hand. So I guess actual challenges are whatever reason you have to not raise your hand. And I would say it's broadly, I see 3 things. I see technical, economical, and kind of cultural. So my answers will be around these 3. So technical is kind of clear, right? What do I do? Like, where do I start? So I would say I'm running 3 of these boxes at home. And maybe something that isn't so clear is DappNode is not, you don't have to buy the device. Maybe you have some device at home. So I had some other device at home. And what you can do is you just basically prepare a USB stick and you plug it into some old computer that you have. You switch it off, you switch it on. You don't attach a keyboard, you don't attach a monitor, nothing. You wait 20 minutes and DappNode is running there. It's magic. Good job. I would say 1 round of applause for DappNode.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of like hesitate when they see that, oh, I need to get, like a mini PC or I need to get like a dedicated hardware. This might be true like in a more like optimized like setting, but like if you have like an old laptop just laying around or something like that, you can definitely use that for trying out DappNode. If you manage to make it operational, you can either keep it or like it is your own experience as a user, the one that is going to dictate like where do you want to go next. So regarding this, I would encourage you to go to the DappNode side. We have 2 flavors of DappNode. We have hardware that you can buy, or you can just download the software and flash the ISO to a USB thumb drive. And yeah, that's it. Just like Sebastian.
Yeah. So I would say that's pretty easy. On the other hand, of course, you have to have that hardware available, and that's maybe the second point economically, right? So you have to, especially if you want to run an archive node, which can tell you how much money did you have at some point in the past. Some people say that's not so important. I'm a bit a maximalist. I would say, archive node is the values that we have to uphold. Everyone has to be able at all times to be able to run an archive node at home. That's my stance on the spectrum. So when you do that, for mainnet Ethereum, you need to purchase an 8 terabyte drive, which is literally the biggest like NVMe you can buy right now on Amazon. They currently can get them for $900. That's not cheap, right? So there we come to this economic side. So you as a validator want to make money, right? And what we're battling as home validators is we're fighting against economies of scale, against corporations which can afford to run machines in the cheapest computing centers because they don't run 1 machine like you do, but 1,000. Surprisingly or not, they get a better price than we do for electricity, for internet connection, for hardware, for everything, right? And this is like kind of this constant struggle that we have here, and that's why I think it's really cool to see these incentives with Gnosis Chain, because believe it or not, these fuckers, they don't get 4 GNO for every single machine they spin up on AWS, so that's great. So, competing with economies of scale here. At the same time, so there's a bunch of contributions to that. For example, you might think, okay, what if I fuck up, right? So I know, for example, in Ethereum mainnet, it's really scary. 32 ETH, that's 100K. Most places on the planet, you can buy yourself a very, very, very nice house for that. So you put that on a box to run a validator to secure a blockchain. well, that's tough, right? So even if you do have 100K and you don't want to buy yourself a house and want a secure blockchain, I would recommend start on Gnosis chain and take it as a test drive. Currently costs like 350, 300, 400, I don't even know what GNO is, $1 to run the validator. It's a good way to get started. And then there's this concern that some people have, what if my cat just bites the cable and my node goes offline? Do I lose all my money, right? And the answer is, no, you don't. Actually, Ethereum is kind of cool there because Ethereum said, well, you lose money when your node is offline. But how bad is it? Well, in Ethereum, it's roughly, and in Gnosis kind of the same, you lose about as much as you would earn on a day where you were online in average. Now, what does that mean? Right? Worst case scenario, Germany, right? So German people have infinite holidays, right? You have 6 weeks of holidays or something. Worst case scenario, you take your 6 weeks summer vacation and your freaking DApp node goes offline the day you leave. You're 6 weeks offline. So 6 weeks is roughly 10% of the year. So 10% of the year you lose some money. So there's this inactivity leaks. But actually, that is about the same what you would pay for some professional staking service provider. They typically charge you 20%, right? So twice the 10%. So even in the worst case scenario, you're offline for 10% of the year, you don't pay more than you pay to a professional staking service provider, which rips you off of 20% of the fees. And you have somebody else taking care of your node, right? So that's actually pretty cool, right? And that's something that, the whole Ethereum ecosystem and the people who research these incentives, I really value and appreciate to enable us plebs to do that and really, again, compete with economies of scale. There's somebody who knows much more about that than me.
Yeah, not just saying if you have a nice neighbor that would, go into your home and reboot your server for you. Yeah, just saying. If, it's even cheaper if you have a nice neighbor that will accept, not necessarily knowing what they're doing, to unplug your computer and plug it back in.
Yeah. We have another recommendation from the past or question or something.
So I don't live anywhere. I'm the homeless, aka digital nomad. So I stake from other people's homes, and I don't have them do anything. I just install Tailscale, and I have a smart plug, so I can do everything from home. I can reboot it from home. I can do a hard reboot. I can SSH into it, and Tailscale is a super, non-technical installation. It's pretty much a one-click installation.
That's it. We have another comment over here. So in the meantime, that's a very sophisticated opportunity. Okay, I'm using at home. I'm in a similar situation as you are. I'm using the cheapo version, so on Amazon or wherever you can buy yourself for basically €5 a thing, like a clock that runs for 7 days, and switches off your machine very briefly and then switches it on again. Because you can, set up your DApp node that it auto boots when the power reconnects, which is very cool. So yeah, that's the ultimate low-tech version of exactly that. But your setup is certainly more fancy there.
Right. Yeah, just about Tailscale, because this is also what I use. I had the story last week, so I was in Kenya for some interop, and my cable, my Ethernet cable that connects my DApp node to my router actually fell off, the clip sync thing was broken, fell off under the gravity, and I was trying to connect with Tailscale. No, nothing happened. I asked my neighbor to go and reboot the server. Nothing happened. So that was a fairly stressful moment, but just pro tip, get proper Ethernet cables.
Nice. So yeah, I would say there's a bunch of things that really are being taken care of to make it nice. And even again, in worst case, there's not too much. The one thing you really shouldn't fuck up is when setting it up. So when it's setting up your validator, there's a wizard to do that. You have a withdrawal address to which you can withdraw your funds. Please back that up. I think people focus too much in the space on wallets and hardware wallets and stuff. I think put much more attention on the backup of that, on the mnemonic of that. Because if your hardware wallet burns, it doesn't really matter if you have a secure mnemonic backed up somewhere in a secure place. So I would say focus on that to secure things. Yeah.
Also, as the ecosystem keeps expanding, you were just mentioning an example of like a staking service, but there are some pretty cool things like being developed right now, like stake-wise vaults, for example. So you can actually become like an operator, and what's really cool is like this separation of the idea of a 32 ETH holder or even like one GNO holder from an operator. So you can actually become a really cool operator just by practicing with monopoly money on the Holesky testnet. It's exactly the same process as spinning up a validator on Gnosis chain. And you can practice with that. And once you feel that you're doing a cool job, you can set up a trustless vault in Stakewise and reach out to your friends. And yeah, I mean, maybe they want to, like stake their GNO or their Ether in your vault. And this is a way in which you can, like become productive by operating a node without necessarily having the economic resources to do so. So I'm very bullish on this part of the permissionless tools because this is going to get just easier. So yeah, if you're still thinking about it, become a node operator, and things will still develop.
Yeah, maybe.
I just wanted to add one last thing that's kind of cultural to me. Like, we talk about crypto economics a lot, but ultimately, securing a chain or securing crypto economic network is about attention, right? So DappNode is awesome. I use DappNode on the 3 machines I run at home right now. But ultimately, let's think about, I like to sometimes think about the end game and where would it take us. Let's say DappNode did a perfect job, and they're doing a pretty damn good job right now. So you take this thing, you do absolutely nothing, you plug it in at home, you never ever touch it again, it just does its job, it always automatically updates, it always manages your funds, you're just happy. This ultimately adds nothing to the network. Why? Because, well, the DappNode guys are nice, but if all the magic is being taken care of for you, then maybe the magic is used against you at some point. So basically, to me, DappNode is a fantastic thing to get started. I really hope that we get into more of a culture of, appreciating the node home noddler, as some people call it, like nerdism, and just like, build your own setups, compile your own, Geth to run your stuff, or A.Ercan or whatever you choose, right? Like, don't all go for the same thing. This is the first step and it's a great one, but keep going, right? Keep evolving, because ultimately it needs attention. And I hope, and I see this in Gnosis much more than other ecosystems that I don't find as sustainable, that Gnosis really fosters this. And I think this attention here shows it that we do have some attention. So keep growing that ecosystem, put attention on it. Don't let some operator turn evil. We're building this kind of for worst case consensus faults. That requires, worst case consensus faults requires your attention to say, hey, DappNode, that doesn't look legit. That's not actually the client version we want. You're trying to force us on a malicious chain or stuff like that. That all requires kind of some attention of yours. It's not a lot, but I think this cultural shift is what blockchains really are about. And I'm very proud to, see where Gnosis is going there.
Absolutely, I agree. I'm curious about how DappNode can support the education to node operators and providing some tools on their channels. Like, you are organizing a educational YouTube series, as far as I know. Can you mention?
Yes. We recently published videos that we call the DappNode Driving School. So you can find those in our YouTube channel. And we also have the DappNode Crash Courses, which are live workshops with audiences Q&A that we run in our Discord. And so those are really cool. Those get recorded and uploaded to our YouTube. So definitely check those out. I think you'll enjoy them. And we're in very close contact with the Gnosis chain community. We have a bridged channel in the DappNode Discord and the Gnosis chain Discord. So this way, we kind of like keep the same communication, and it's also a great way to just store like some of the like the frequent questions that we get around operating nodes. So yeah, tools like that are very like important for the education part of it, and also like events like this, events like DappCon, give us a chance to talk to you about it, to get closer to the users. It always really amazes me how many people still believe that like if your Dapp node goes down, if you have a power outage, like you'll get slashed, and this is a myth. An attestation leak is very different from a slashing, and it's caused by very different factors. So it's always a great opportunity to talk to the community, and you can definitely expect this same level of communication if you join our communities, and you start telling us about your own experience as node runners.
Arman, I have a question to you. Where do I go if I want to get these 4GNO Dapp node? Because that sounds very good.
You can just visit the DappNode booth, and right now I want to announce our raffle winners in here. So great. Okay, just a second. Hopefully not me.
He's running a random number generator now.
Yeah, right. Show it on the screen.
Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay. We don't know who is he. Who is he or she? I don't know. The raffle is ended, and if you have this address, please reach out to me, reach out us. We will give this device with a 4GNO as a special one. Anyone in this room? No?
It's the last digits.
It's 0x9B2D.
And also this number of tickets, yeah.
Well, then it goes to Arman.
Mystery, yeah. Wow, nice. Any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It's the right time to talk about.
We have one more comment here and one there.
Thank you for the great panel. I know there is plans to run Gnosis VPN on Hopper nodes, but are there plans to run Gnosis VPN on Dapp nodes?
Huh, that's a good question. Come to my talk at 11 tomorrow, I would say. Yeah, so basically, absolutely yes. So Gnosis VPN, the clients that you will use to actually run this, will run on Dapp nodes, like other Hopper nodes also. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. Don't worry, it's a nice question. Actually, it's kind of the same question, but for 3 flavors of each. I'm gonna start with you, Sebastian. You say everybody should be an archive node runner. For Gnosis chain, the problem is that you have a block time of 5 seconds, which means currently you have roughly twice as, maybe 50% more blocks in Gnosis. Have you tried that for Gnosis chain?
Yes, I'm running an A.Ercan archive node right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how much space does that take?
On A.Ercan right now, Gnosis chain is 1.95 terabyte. So,
Wow,
yeah.
okay, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, yeah, exactly. Okay. I actually run, so I bought myself this ridiculously overpriced NVMe. Right. And so I'm actually on the same device running an archive node on mainnet, which is currently around 5 terabyte plus Gnosis, which is almost 2, so it just fits.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Okay, thanks. The other question is, at the beginning of the presentation, you said you could also run something on an ARM machine.
Yeah.
So basically for the same reason, fast block time, fast I/O. I wanted to ask you if that had been tried, because I'm curious. What kind of machine?
our very valuable community member Haurok shared his experience with the ARM machine. Is a super mini device, just experimenting running a node. I will share with you the
Please.
whole story.
Right. And then my question, because I'm a big ARM fan, like what you described about plugging a stick and booting, does the DappNode software support ARM as a platform?
Yes, we have. If you go to our GitHub repository, you'll find under releases, basically like 3 different ISOs. You can find an attended installation if you have experience installing Linux. It's basically a Linux installation. You just get to customize some of its settings. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can try the unattended installation and it'll just happen.
It's magic and it works great.
Yeah. and we also have a release for running on Raspberry Pis. We have like mixed reports on that, to be honest. But if you're interested in talking a little bit more about running tests or similar stuff, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
One more question? Or
What's your question without RISC-V?
Just ARM. We recently have an amazing team that decided to use DappNode for their own purposes, and they're using mostly ARM. So we've been receiving a lot of pull requests, fixing all the stuff in ARM that didn't work. So I think it works now. At least they haven't submitted any more PRs, so either they give up on us or it's working great for them.
any question? Or if you want to, feel free to share your experience. Okay, thank you for the participation in this panel.
Thank you.